Good evening, everybody. As you can see, it is the end of my day. Just got out of the shower a little bit ago. Baby is asleep. Husband is off to work. So I am in a quiet household finally. I want to give you guys a quick update. In one of my last videos, I did talk about the fact that we are planning on homeschooling our daughter. And I've been looking into a lot more like preschool curriculum ideas and that sort of stuff. Initially, when I was looking into it, I was leaning towards doing the Horizons preschool curriculum. They do a comprehensive, just all the subjects to go through throughout the entire year leading up to kindergarten. And I was really kind of set on that. But of course, me being me, I continued to look into homeschooling things and ran across The Good and the Beautiful. Angela Braniff, who has the YouTube channel This Gathered Nest. She uses bits and pieces of the Good and the Beautiful curriculums and courses with her kids that she homeschools. And then there's a few others that really have spoken highly of the Good and the Beautiful's handwriting program curriculum. So what we're going to be doing now, because they don't have, as far as I can tell from their website, they don't have like the kindergarten curriculum where you can just select kindergarten and it gives you all the courses that you would need. It divides it by subject and then by age group. But the preschool curriculum is actually just one class in itself. And they have it under the language arts on their website. So we're going to be doing that one because it does include like phonics and math and, a few other things in there too. So it's going to give us a really good start for like number recognition and I think just a general really good starting point. The Good and the Beautiful, the other thing I really appreciate about it is their prices are extremely affordable. And when you go to look at a particular course or product on their website, they actually give you a really good like downloadable PDF of some of the sample pages, so you can get a really good idea of what does this curriculum look like, what does the work look like for the kiddos. It gives some really good instructions at the beginning for the parents, so that's really cool. The other thing that I ran into today is a gal named JDA on YouTube. She, from what I can read from her bio, she has 5 kiddos. I believe she's homeschooled all of them. And I want to say she also may have been a school teacher at some point. She has like a decade's worth of experience with kiddos. And I'm not sure if that's all just with her own kids or if she has some experience with kids outside the home. But she apparently has kind of this program to like fast track your kids to reading. And she said that with 3 of her kiddos, they were able to actually read by age 3, which is really crazy and really cool. So I decided, why not? Let's give this a shot. The sooner Mina can start reading on her own, the sooner she'll be able to do more of her homework on her own, because then she can read more of the words and stuff. We'll, of course, be involved, but it gives us a little bit more flexibility and allows her to be a little bit more independent, which she is a very independent little girl. So the first portion of JDA's program to fast track kiddos to reading is letter sound recognition. And so her recommendation is to make flashcards, one for each letter of the alphabet, and specifically the lowercase, because these are the letters that kids are going to see more likely. And if you think about it, capital letters really only appear in the kids' books at the beginning of sentences. They don't really appear as much as the lowercase ones, so it is more important that they are able to recognize the lowercase. Lowercase can be a little bit more challenging for kids too, because it's not as straight lines. There's more curves, there's more circles, that sort of thing. So getting them to be able to differentiate, the letter A circle and curves from the letter C circle and curves is kind of important in building that confidence of letter recognition, which ultimately will lead to word recognition and then reading. So what her recommendation is when you are starting off with a kiddo is to start by doing just flashcards with them for the lowercase letters, and not doing the names of the letters, but doing the letter sound. And for the vowels, doing the short letter sound. So a, b, k, d, e, so on and so forth. And so what this does is it helps to create that association for the kiddo between the letter shape and the sound it makes, which is ultimately what's going to help them be able to start reading words and sentences and ultimately being able to read on their own. This is just the first part of the program, and she also said in her video that I watched today that you start off by flipping through, and it's like a minute, and that's it. Like that's all you have to do for a day with the flashcards to start off with is just flip through pretty quickly. You get through them in about a minute, just long enough to be able to say the sound and let the kid be able to look at the letter, but not so long that they lose focus, because toddlers' attention span is pretty short. So you want to keep it pretty fast paced, moving along so that they don't get bored. So you start off by you saying the sound for each of the cards, and then eventually as you continue to do it, then you have them start to repeat it back. Ah, and then have them repeat it back. Buh, and then they repeat it after you. And eventually getting to the point where they can do that themselves. You can show them a letter and they can tell you what sound it makes. Then she also made the point, which I think was really, really astute of her, was that after you get to the point where you can go through the whole alphabet and they can tell you each one of the letter sounds, she said, then what you're going to do is you're going to present the letters to them out of order to make sure that they're not just memorizing the order of the sounds, that they're actually making the association between the letter and the sound. And so once they can do that, then you're ready to move on to the next one, or the next stage of the program. That she actually goes through a little bit, because then it goes from one letter recognition to learning the capitals and the lowercase, and then also 2 letter associations. So starting with like B and I, and the letter sounds for that. So B, I. Again, preparing them for adding further letters so they can start actually reading words. Now for that part, she does have an actual like PDF program or printout that you can get from her website. I think it was $13 to either get the downloadable printable version. Otherwise, you can get the fully printed version off of Amazon for like $16. So my plan is to actually get the printed version off of Amazon, just because we don't have a printer here at home, so it'll just be way simpler for us to do that. But that's kind of the plan there for kind of this prep to reading. And my daughter isn't even 2 years old yet, and it would, like, for some people it may seem like, oh my gosh, why are you pushing your daughter to do this already? She wants to. Like earlier this morning, even before I watched the videos and stuff, she and I sat on the floor with her. It's from Leapfrog. It's like the little bus that has each individual letter that you can put in the bus, and then you press it, and then it goes through this whole song of, B says but, B says but, we sat on the floor and went through letter after letter after letter for probably a solid 10-15 minutes, and she was having a great time. After I made the cards and I asked her this afternoon, I said, should we go through your flashcards? Yeah, she wanted to do it. And so my only intent was to get through the whole alphabet once with her. She wanted to do it, probably, I think we ended up doing it like 5 times, because she wanted to keep going, because it was fun for her. She likes to learn. So yes, she is really young. I don't expect her to be able to read by 3. If she does, that's really cool, but I don't expect her to be able to. But I am going to give her things to stimulate her brain. And, if she isn't really interested in it one day, okay, that's fine. Then we don't do it that day. But she wants to learn this stuff. She gets excited. She wants to know, what words mean. She wants to know what color things are. She's so curious about the world, and she wants to know so much. So she's got the curiosity. Why not? So yeah, that's the plan. So letter sound recognition right now. Then we'll move on to the next phase of JDA's early reader program. I'm calling it that. I don't know what she actually calls it. And then probably sometime near the end of her second year, so she's almost 2, so probably around this time next year we'll be getting the preschool curriculum from The Good and the Beautiful, and then the handwriting. It's gonna be totally up to her pace and what she's interested in doing and all that sort of stuff. So, but that's my update, guys. I hope that provided any new or helpful information for those out there that are looking at homeschooling themselves and just kind of trying to figure out where to start. Because to be honest, that's where I'm at right now, is just figuring out where can I start. So I hope everybody has a good week. I will see you guys soon.